My name is Aditya. I'm the president of the All India MMA Federation, India's sole MMA federation body for MMA. One thing in India, what we have seen is that most of the fighters, they never had an opportunity to fight elsewhere. So there were limited opportunity in India and they had to look for fights outside. So with this, what we have done with this set of fighters is that we have senior batch of fighters who have fought pro and they're doing a tryout for Brave here with this one. So they're leading by example. So these fighters are the fighters who are the role models for the upcoming amateur fighters who are there. So two sets of fighters, the senior fighters, including Pushpinder, Pawan, Govind, Swapnil, and these are the senior fighters. And seeing those senior fighters were the amateur fighters who are just following their footsteps and making sure that they know what it looks to be becoming a pro fighter, how to act like a pro fighter, what are the behavioral patterns, how do you promote yourself, what are the technical skills you need to have. So we wanted to set in the right kind of example. So we have in one set you have the senior most people who have quite a lot of experience, and another set you have people who have just fought amateur who do not have experience fighting international. In fact, some of the fighters here, this is the first time they're traveling abroad. In fact, it's the first time they're traveling out of their state. So that's a big achievement for them by itself, and seeing this and everything, they're going to go back with a lot of stories, a lot of inspiration for the other fighters whom they're training with, the sparring partners and everybody else. Yeah, let me just give you a little bit of background of what happened with the Indian MMA, especially with the federation. We had to form a federation because in India there was a rampant corruption by the authorities who were handling the Indian MMA Association. So there were instances where the pro fighters were only getting paid 30% of their match fees and 70% was going back to the guys from the association, and nobody could question them because if they would have done that, they would just ban them simply. So we had to come up with some kind of a federation where it could benefit the fighters. So this federation is for the fighters themselves. So what we decided is that, okay, we're going to just reform everything, make sure that we create an entity which would be a benchmark for all of the federation, not only in India, but outside the world also. Now, let's look into that from that perspective. Our federation is a non-profit federation. That's a big thing to do. Our federation is a central government approved. This is the only federation which is central government approved federation. We're non-profit. We're going to apply for ATG certificate, which is basically gives an opportunity to get an income tax rebate and all this thing. So basically it becomes a foundation. So there is no way that we can do any kind of fudging with the accounts or money or anything that comes for the athletes. Usually in India what happens is that most of the sport federation, the government gives some money for the athletes, and what happens is that the money goes to the officials, right? So that's very bad. It doesn't go and reach to the end athletes, and they don't get benefit from that. And that's what we're trying to do that. And having said that, now that we have a strong federation, I know that AIMMAF World Championship is going to happen in Bahrain. We're going to try to lobby to get into Bahrain to have us recognized there. And at the same time, we are setting our eyes up for upcoming events in India, specifically the Brave events, so that our fighters who we are getting them ready, giving them international exposure by making them fight in Bahrain and elsewhere, so that they know what it takes to fight internationally, so that they understand the talent that is required, the technical skills and know-how that is required, and they can apply that in the pro circuit whenever they ask to, and make India proud.